topic recently when she was silenced from speaking at UC Berkeley. So we're having her speak today at the table, right now. So please welcome Ann Coulter. Just so I'm clear, so first they asked you to speak. You were asked to speak,
yes.
And then the school decided it wasn't a good idea for you to speak, and then canceled it, and then said you could speak at a different place. What happened?
Well, that chronology is not even worth beginning. They change their position every 5 minutes.
Okay.
But, I mean, basically every conservative speaker has all of these requirements put on the speech, and other ones just say, oh, come on, I'm not going to speak off campus, and, you know, from a hot air balloon at 3 in the morning. And I just kept saying, cool, it would be cool. I think I'd get a lot of attention for that. So, which is why I kept saying, no, I agree. Whatever requirements they put on my speech. And then the next morning, I wake up and, they canceled anyway.
Right. But then they said you could come,
well, sort
and then
of. They were just kicking the can down the road so that they could cancel later. They said I could speak again when...
safety, Ann. That was what they said.
Well, that's what they said, but there is a police force. I don't know if you saw the press conference they had. It was one of the funniest press conferences I've ever seen with the police, a policeman, a captain from the Berkeley police saying, we can't have Ann Coulter speak. The people will commit crimes. What? Call a cop. What's your job?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you're... I've never seen a press conference like it. It would be like having your pilot say, how am I going to fly these people across the country?
I must say that we backed you up, Ann.
I know.
Because we believe in free speech here.
Yeah.
Anything is fine.
Whether you like it or not. Yes. You know, and so we always want to encourage people, free speech. And I just got canceled in Clearwater because people didn't... They've decided they didn't want to see the show, whether it had anything to do with politics or not. So the idea of not having free speech in a country whose foundation is the ability to speak freely is ridiculous. So Berkeley, you made a mistake, man. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. That's the law.
You know, this isn't the first time that a conservative speaker recently has had an issue there. You had Milo Yiannopoulos, who was canceled there. They have numerous...
Well, they canceled him because there was a giant riot that broke out.
Right.
So they were scared for him.
But that's why they should have been on notice, i.e. the police should have been on notice.
Yeah, wasn't that...
We better prepare.
Wasn't that the issue, though? I mean, this is a university that receives taxpayer money, and many are saying, well, they have an obligation to provide security. And then people were coming out and saying, well, the police have a stand-down policy.
Right.
What does that even mean? Isn't the police there to protect us? That's the last I knew about them.
No, that's right. And, well, apparently the mayor had friended the Antifa. Those are the masked thugs who come out and smash Starbucks windows whenever a conservative is speaking. He had liked them on his Facebook page. They issued the stand-down order. And then you had this crazy press conference with a cop saying, what is this thing dangling from my belt? Is that a gun or a glue gun?
I want to point out, too, that we're not sure who those folks in the masks are. We don't know whether they're folks that have been stirred up by the right or the left. The fact of the matter that they're there is insanity.
Right, and that they're backing down.
You were one of the first people to back Trump for president, but he has the lowest approval ratings of any president in the past 72 years. How do you think he's doing?
Well, I wouldn't believe any of these approval ratings now. I mean, the day of the election, November 8th, I woke up and the New York Times said that Hillary had a 95% chance of winning. So I think polls apparently don't work in the age of Trump, or at least when the poll question is about Trump. And I still consider Trump the emperor god. However, I'm a little disappointed with the congressional Republicans.
She's kidding. She's a comedian.
Who are not... No, I totally do. I'm a little bit... I mean, these Republicans in Congress, they all opposed Trump. You would think that despite his personality, despite everything you guys say about him, half the people who voted for him, knew it. Well, I think we're trying to get the message through. We really, really want a wall. We'll even take Trump to build it.
Before we get to the wall, I want to ask you a question, because he stomps all over the media, as we were discussing before. See, I have a theory that the reason he wants his supporters to hate the media is because as soon as this Russian investigation is really fully vetted, we're going to find out that he possibly committed crimes. And he doesn't want his supporters to believe the media when he's going to be put in handcuffs. That's what I think. What do you think?
I mean, of all the things to attack Trump on,
Criminal behavior?
you'd have
Treason?
me.
Hello? Emoluments clause?
You'd have me changing the subject on many of them. The Russia thing is insane, and I do want to, but backing up, attacking the media, he isn't attacking the media, he's attacking the fake media. We used to refer to as the Brooklyn juries, who simply would not convict even guilty black criminals, not
you know
innocent
what?
black
Hold up,
criminals.
Ms. Coulter. Please stop. Please stop. If you're going to talk about race, at least know what you're talking about. At least know what you're talking about. Well, tell me how much you know about being black.
Well, this isn't about being black.
Well, but you just said you just made all these statements about how black people feel. Tell me how you know that. Yeah, you did.
This is not a book about black people. It is a book about white liberals. And I do know, and this is a fact, that once for years, Republican policies on crime and welfare, for example, were called racist. When they finally got implemented after the O.J. verdict, I might add, by crime Giuliani in New York, Reagan and Bush judges overall, tens of thousands of black lives were saved. That is a fact. I don't have to know about being black, but I know
because your facts are just a little shaky. I mean, you're saying that because black people, because liberals are what? Because liberals have abandoned black people now because. What? I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't think liberals ever cared about black people. I mean, 5 minutes after the Civil Rights Act of '64, they start calling everything that has nothing to do with black people a civil rights issue.
Wait a second.
Abortion on demand, homeless rights.
So are you saying that liberals don't care about black people? Then are you saying Republicans embrace us in a warm, fuzzy
Try
blanket?
to. We're not embraced back. But yeah, we tried to.
So wait a minute. So the Southern strategy was a white liberal thing? No, it was a Republican thing.
No.
And also, Newt Gingrich calls President Obama the food stamp president. That's not racist?
Chapter.
Wait a second.
Do you really think do you believe it was racist for Newt to say that the president is a food stamp president?
Well, he wouldn't say that.
If we could just skip, I'm not a big fan of Newt, so if we could just skip that for a second and get to the Southern strategy.
Yeah.
Because I've specifically disproved it. It's an absolutely liberal folklore. Republicans were winning the South since 1920. It was the outer states of the South. It was Texas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Virginia.
Voting. What are you talking about? We weren't
Well,
allowed
who
to
was
vote.
trying to get them to vote? Republicans were.
Yeah,
and the first black congressmen were all Republicans. And the first black governor was a Republican.
You're talking about way back.
After is so different from
No. That is definitely what we're told. But in fact, the Democratic segregationists were all liberal Democrats. It is a lie that they were conservative Democrats.
Everybody was a segregationist, darling. You know, basically, everybody was. White people were. It didn't matter whether they were Republicans or not.
Ask you a question.
The first integrationists. Okay, just read chapter 14 in this book. The first Republicans to be elected in the South.
Listen to my grandmother, who was there, who remembers what happened.
Baker, an aggressive integrationist, first Republican elected in Tennessee to the Senate. You have Winthrop Rockefeller, first Republican governor in
But you know, I have a question
Arkansas.
about today.
Integration.
Let me ask you something about what's going on now. It seems to
the
me
Southern strategy is a lie.
It seems to me that voter suppression is happening in areas where black people and Hispanics are, and it really is being promoted by the Republicans, not the Democrats. So in my view, and I have a different one from you, it looks as though the Republicans are really going against blacks, not the liberals.
No, and this
what do
is
you
a
say to
perfect
that?
example. Yes, it is, and it's a perfect example. No, I'll explain why. Of liberals using the label of civil rights to promote a liberal cause they support, i.e. voter fraud. In fact, one of the first states in the Union to pass voter ID bills was Rhode Island, 85% Democratic legislature. And who pushed it? A black Democrat in the House, a black Democrat in the Senate.
That's a fact.